for the event. So in lane 1, we have Victor Desaulniers from Trois-Rivières. Lane 2, Alex Brett from Burnaby. Lane 3, Jacob Steele from Masqua. Lane 4, Brian Malfazy from Ridge. Lane 5, Simon McTavish from Mississauga. Lane 6, Marshall Hughes from Chima. Lane 7, Cameron Lowe from Balmy Beach. Lane 8, Vincent Jourdanet from Trois-Rivières. And Lane 9, Eric Ellery from Balmy Beach. So quite a stacked field here, including Simon McTavish here in lane 5, who was the U23 silver medalist last year at the KNK1000, this event, as a member of the Australian team. So, yeah, it's interesting that he switched to Canada this year as a dual citizen, and then comes and adds strength to our national team and really makes sure that that our guys are being pushed as much as they need to. And he's actually a member of one of the K4s that will be racing on Sunday. So. Yeah, and we also have a lot of other athletes here that have performed internationally quite a bit. So Jake Steele on lane 3 was part of the World University Championships team last year. Brian Malfazy has been on the world stage for a long time and has had some great performances, same as Marshall Hughes. And Vincent Jourdanet is just coming up on the team, being on part of the U23 World Championship team, also being part of the Junior World. So it's been quite exciting to see him progress.
Yeah, it's awesome to see how everybody moves from season to season, what they're able to improve upon.
Yeah, and then so we have a start to this race here.
Clean start, which is always nice.
Looks great. Looks quite even so far.
You can't quite see them on your feed yet, though. So as they come down the course, it looks pretty even as they move through the first 200 meters of the event. You'll notice the strokes are nice, solid strokes. They look typically to keep a nice rhythm.
Yeah, so we can see here people have just settled kind of into their pace as they're approaching just past the 250 meters, so a quarter of the way. I'm really settling into a good pace, trying to get as much glide as you can with every stroke and be as efficient as you can, so you don't build lactic acid too fast, and you're really able to keep the boat moving as fast as it can through the middle part of the race.
Yeah, nice and relaxed through the neck and shoulders, making sure that the drive from your stroke is coming actually from your feet, which is sometimes a surprise for people who don't compete competitively in the sport.
Yeah, so as a reminder here, we got Victor in lane 1, Alex in lane 2, Jake in lane 3, Brian in lane 4, Simon in lane 5, Marshall in lane 6, Cameron in lane 7, Vincent in lane 8, and Eric in lane 9. So quite a stacked field here, and as they're going through halfway, looking like...
Middle of the course, lane 6, lane 5.
Yeah, quite a tight race out there. So you'll see now as they get to the 500, the stroke rate might actually increase a little bit, and we'll see that they're trying to make a move on each other to really put a statement that they're here to win this race.
And it's always interesting to see whose race plan comes out where, because some people know their strength, or they all know their strength. So some people make a move at the halfway mark, and others, their move comes a bit later.
And I think here, Kia, we can see Simon's actually made a big move on the whole of the field, and it looks like Brian's trying to
go with
raise his stroke rate, and trying to respond to that big push that Simon has put down. Marshall's also pushing here, like really trying to make a close finish at the end.
Yeah, it looks like lane 4, 5, and 6 are really bringing it all the way home. We can see lane on the outside, or lane 4, Marshall, who's in lane 4 here? Brian's picking up his stroke rate. He's really giving it all. He's trying to catch him as we move into the last 100 meters of this race.
Yeah, and then just passing in the 200 here, it looks like Simon's actually moving quite well. Really relaxed. You can see the stroke rate's a bit lower than some of the other guys, but really being efficient, right? Mm-hmm. And then Marshall trying to catch, and Brian's starting to react quite a bit here, trying to pick up his stroke rate to close the gap as much as he can.
Yeah, this is the time your legs feel like they might be rooted like tree trunks that push right to the finish.
And it's a really close push here by the next generation of the guys in basically coming in for 4th, 5th position that are really trying to push and earn their spot on the team. So a really good effort here, trying to keep your stroke rate as high as you can entering the last 100. So we can see Simon here just crossing the line in first place. Great race. And then Marshall closing the top 3 for the bronze medal here, but then so close for 5th here. and 6th.
Yeah, on the outside lanes, those guys were battling.
Yeah, so what a great race here for the first A final. So this will set up everybody for the selections that will be coming on for the rest of the year, as well as other sets of trials that will be in basically an input into their karting and potential funding that can come over the season. So quite an important race for everybody. Good to have that one kind of locked in. That's the first final of the year, and it's been a fantastic one for us here to watch on the CKC stream live from the national team trials in Montreal.
It's also nice as we watch the end of the race, everybody's exhausted, but they kind of group up. There's a lot of, it's a solo sport, but there's a lot of team atmosphere, and everybody kind of comes together at the end, which is always nice too.
Yeah, those guys spend most of the season together. They train together in Florida, all over the country, and they know each other quite well. So while they're friends basically 99% of the year, they become competitors here for us to enjoy and watch. But as soon as the race ends, you can basically see that it goes back to